What's up, everybody? So, I'm going to share my vocal warm up today. Why do you warm up your vocals? Why do you want to do that? To me, it helps calm my mind, it helps me zone into what I'm doing and focus, especially at the beginning of the day. If I start the day with my vocal warm up, I feel more grounded, more likely to feel better singing throughout the entire day, less likely to get tired that day or the next day. So I can, in general, use my voice for longer. Why is that? I believe because it gets the muscles that are involved in creating sound um, bathed in fresh blood in a kind of gentle way, such that they get oxygenated and, just like any other muscle, stretched out slowly and warmed up rather than just torn or ripped really quick. Um, what do I start with? Deep rhythmic breathing is the first thing that I do. Why is that? Because you want to deepen your lung capacity. A lot of people are going around not really using their entire lungs, just kind of breathing into often the upper parts of their chest, usually shallow, quick breath. They say things like things that breathe faster die faster. I've heard stuff like that. To put it more positively, things that have a slow metabolism, elephants, turtles, they live longer than mice and hummingbirds. And breath does regulate a lot of processes in the human body. I believe, and sure it is somehow related to metabolism as well. So I do it for life. I do it for my long life and health. I think it provides just oxygen for your whole body and brain, in addition to specifically readying your whole diaphragm and torso and breathing apparatus to properly support your breath, such that you're not like using your neck to push out the sounds, but you're actually using a full support system. You have a strong foundation. So the breath is your foundation. By resetting your breath, you're setting your foundation every day. So I've heard the analogy, I don't remember where, of, it's like having gas in your car. Running on E has a lot of bad consequences. Trying to sing without any breath support is, like I said, really harsh for your neck. So using this full store of air that you can fill up and contain right here and sort of sit on and control its release is preferable. It'll just teach you in general breath management as well, which is really important for singing when you're up on stage and you got a verse and it goes this many number of bars, and you only get one breath after the 8th bar. It just teaches you to start measuring and managing your breath, which is really important for a singer. So how do you do it? The first thing that I start with is making sure my posture is erect and open, nothing constricting me. I can move, I can feel that my torso has room to expand. Again, I use a metronome, and there's many ways you can do this. I start with often like shorter breaths in and long breaths out, because I think singers need to you're only going to have a second to grab that quick breath, and then you've got to manage that breath and kind of let it out intentionally and slowly throughout your verse or whatever you're singing. So I generally like to do that. I often start sometimes, though, with just an even breath. So 4 breaths in, 4 breaths out, 5 in, 5 out. Work my way up to like 10 in, 10 out. If I really need breath work and calming, that kind of even in and out helps me set my mind. And then I'll get into more extreme, up to like 2 seconds in or 1 beat in and 12 out, or 2 seconds in and 20 out, or something like that. My general ones, my go-tos are 4 in, 8 out, 5 in, 10 out, and 8 in, 12 out. I'll show you how I do that. Just press play on the metronome and try to focus. We're going to do 5 times through, 4 in, 8 out. That's a minute long. We're going to do 4 times through, 5 in. You don't have to remember all this, but just it's in your mind. 5 in, 10 out is the second round of 4. That's another minute. And then 8 in, 12 out 3 times. That's another minute as well. Here we go. already feel better. Only a minute of my time invested. Already, I feel like I have a mental change. I feel like I have more oxygen through my blood, more power in my body. You'll notice I'm breathing in my nose, out my mouth. You can vary that up as you wish. I know when you're singing, it's a quick breath in through your mouth. You can practice as you're singing. You can do a little bit of both. Maybe start with something more meditative, maybe in and out of the nose, and then start moving into the more intense, like calisthenic kind of approaches. Now we're going to do 5 and 10, 4 times. See if you can start pushing into realms of your lungs you haven't pushed into. If your shoulders start to rise up as you breathe, that's shoulder breathing. You're tricking yourself into thinking you're breathing deep by doing that. That's not helping anything. Do your best to keep your shoulders even, steady keel. What you should feel moving is your stomach. When we get deeper, you might even feel your back and your sides expand a little bit, but right now let's just focus on your stomach kind of having room to expand as you breathe, and that's where you're feeling the air go down into the bottom of your torso and your organ cavity or whatever. Here we go, 5 in, 10 out. All right. So you notice there, I'm not sure if I did or not, but at the first one I might have miscounted. I thought I did. Oh, it's like, did I say 10 out or did I just count 8 out? I didn't stop though. I didn't let that interrupt the flow of things. I just kept breathing in. That's what I do my best to do. It's really an effort to even be able to concentrate enough to, for 3 minutes, just do the simple task of breathing in those patterns. It's a lot. We have phones and jobs and kids and whatever we have that's relatives, family, friends, aspirations, etc., 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 all these things that just want your attention and they will try to grab it. And if you do this first in the morning, I feel like it's an amazing way to set your self-discipline and ability and like belief in self that I can say I want to do something and I do it. So now we're moving on to the 8 in, 8 in, 12 out. Sometimes when I get to 5, I feel like I'm full and I can't go any further. Keep pushing into those bottom sections of your lung. Do your best to not get all tense and try to do that, but just feel if you can pull into areas of your torso here, areas of your lungs you haven't touched. Here we go. Nice, good job.